Is up, everyone. I am Todd Bookspan on behalf of Dave Savage, mortgage coach, their whole entire team, and my team at Win by Noon. I'm super excited to have you on the 199th Friday Mortgage Mastermind. It's hard to believe that when Dave and I started this, 4 years ago, something like that, here we are still going strong, and it's all about you guys. So thank you so much for being here. Dave announced it last week. We crossed 10,000 members of this group, and I think he said probably the most critical thing he said is that we appreciate everyone in here, but he really encouraged those of you who are part of this group watching these videos and not taking action to take action. And so before I introduced our special guest who is going to give you some actionable items for Facebook marketing, I want to shine a light on a video that Dave posted yesterday. He posted a 7-minute video on how you can integrate a TCA into a webinar with your real estate agents to encourage people to become move-up buyers. And so he's gotten a lot of questions lately from loan officers who are going to be doing Zoom webinars, whether it's a first-time buyer webinar, whether it's a move-up webinar, whatever type of webinar you're going to do with real estate agents. And Dave is really going to push and continue to put content into our community in order to help you guys do that. So he's got that video as a great start to it of how he would do it. I think he was spot on. I watched it. I think most importantly, he really talked about when to be eyes on with the camera and then when to actually share your screen. And I think just really pay attention to his scripting. He goes through what Renee Rodriguez has taught us really about how to, set it up from front, middle, and end. And I think that that is just genius. And it's just a really simple way to give you guys something that you should be doing that you can easily do with your real estate partners to help them and help you grow your business. So that is my 2 seconds on that. But I'm super excited. I'm glad to have one of our frequent guests here with us today, Bill Hillestad. Hey, Bill, what's going on?
Not much. Living the dream. It's all good.
I always consider Bill like the mad professor, right? I'm laughing. I look over his shoulder. I can see all those tripods. Like if there's a new gadget or gizmo, Bill has it and has tried it way before the rest of us. And this one today is called Facebook Marketing Made Simple. So what's our plan today, Bill?
Well, that's Dave. Dave's always want me to try and make this stuff simple for people. Now the whole idea is to come back from time to time and keep reinforcing it. But I don't know if we're going to make it simple. I kind of wanted to focus in on the video that you were talking about because Dave sent it to me and asked me to critique it. And I said, I thought you did an awesome job. You bury the lead, but with a couple tweaks, I think you really are onto something. So I put together a document, some scripting, some backup, some how to post it, some tricks to get more people to your live. So I wanted to just use that as an example, if you will.
I love that. I love that. So
create success on Facebook.
So for those of us who are dumb, what does bury the lead mean? Like, is that one of the things you're going to jump into, or am I getting ahead of myself?
Yeah, well, here, no, you're right on the money. There, sharing my screen. Here's the video from Dave, and he's going on and he's talking about what he's going to do. And like you said, it's all good advice. Hang on, we got to get the audio turned back on here. And where did that go? And MacBook Air speakers, there we go.
Reframe the story around the pain with the market. I would start sharing my screen like this. This is Amber Kovaric's move-up analysis. And I would show the TCA. So this is an example of a family. They, their current situation.
And like you said, he talked about, eye contact, looking into the camera, and then I would start sharing my screen.
But I asked them, hey, how's your current house working? And they wanted $436,000.
Let's see, where was he?
Amber Kovaric's move-up analysis. And I would show the TCA. So this is an example of it.
And I don't want to make people watch the whole thing right now. They all need to watch it. But he talks for a while before he stumbles into a line that I thought was really compelling, which is right now hundreds of thousands or millions of people are doing refis, but they're missing the greater opportunity. And that one struck me because you're always looking for the aha. What's the pattern interrupt? Because, hey, did you know you can refinance and lower your payment? Yeah, everybody knows that. We've been hearing it for 20, 30 years. Every couple of years, you need something that's a pattern interrupt. And that's what he's talking about here, because we all know we can lower our payment. And is it worth it? Do I go through the hassle? I can cut my payment by $80, $180, $280, whatever. But then he goes into, there are greater opportunities to do so much more. And especially when you're doing marketing videos, social videos, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you've got 3, maybe 5 seconds to grab my attention, give me a reason to watch. So the lead is always, what's in it for me? When I see videos that start with, hey, everybody, it's Bill Hillestad from blah, 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 ruined, done. Video's now garbage, throw it away. Because nobody's going to go scrolling through Facebook and go, oh, look, there's a old guy, talking head. Wonder what he's got to say. You've got to grab people with what's in it for them up front. Your English teacher told you this in school. Always start with, tell them what you're going to tell them. Then tell them what you told them. What's in it for me? The hook is the open always. That's your lead. So you never, ever, ever bury the lead with a bunch of supporting information. You always come out with, and that this one was so compelling in the options and the opportunities, because they came in looking for a little cut in payment and walked away with 125,000 in additional liquid cash and forecasted 500,000 additional net worth and a bigger house. It was, I just thought it was, that's a mind-blowing story, but you gotta hook me up front. So that's your lead. And so you need to work on that
jump
too.
Right in there. You would just jump right in there with the whole idea that hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people are saving money, but they may be making a mistake.
Yeah, or they're missing out. And so what I did, and I'm gonna put this in there for everybody. So the idea, when you wanna, because remember, 80% of your content is there to make people like you. It's there to make them remember you. Only 20% should sell. You can sell more if you're not annoying. And so I created this document after looking at that and working with some of my clients recently on some of the same kind of stuff. The goal of your videos, number one goal of your videos, to make people feel like they know you, like you, can trust you, should trust you when their mortgage needs, when they arise. Because remember, people don't always need a loan, but you need them to always see you without being an annoyance. So that being said, what makes people like you? And I'd like to talk a little bit today about what we call a peripheral close or a peripheral call to action. How do I put in CTAs, calls to action, without overtly selling all the time? How do I talk about mortgages more without being the boring mortgage guy that's always talking about mortgage stuff? You gotta put in content people wanna see. So what I did for everybody, just to show you, was I took, what we're going to talk about, what makes people like you, and what little one-liners and things can you work in there. So I gave you a bunch of quips, quotes, one-liners, two-liners to work into your videos as appropriate, and when you can, and however you can. And a lot of these are about the mortgage coach type of content, the TCA, because I think you guys have the best content imaginable. And you can use this content to create a lot of sales because it's a differentiator. It's not the same old thing. I was just trying to help with the scripting for that. And then I put in a whole section here with example headlines with a hook. This is your lead. What's going to grab them? The outcome at the end. And it doesn't have to be a actual client. You don't want to use their name. You can do a similar story and make it fictitious. You can use clients if they will, let you or are willing to. Then I got
just name them all Dave Savage. Just always use Dave Savage as your fake client. You'll be set.
Exactly. Perfect. I like that. So Dave Savage, and then you just go into the story. And then I'm going to give you one little extra bonus today, which is videos with clients, which really are the holy grail. And the way you do that. And we've been doing this a lot in the financial planning industry, where we think the CFPB is bad, but yeah, the SEC, FINRA, what they go through, it's so much worse. And these have been the killer. Doing videos with clients, and we'll talk about that a little bit. I don't know if we'll get through all this, but like I said, I'm going to post this link up in the chat so everybody can tap into it. And then I've got tying it all together down here in just a couple example scripts. And Todd, you're one of the script guys. I'm not a wordsmith, a script guy. I would love it sometime if we could get a bunch of people together and really script this stuff out. But the ideas, to go back to the top of what I was going to share, and as always, I've got way too much to share, but you have all of these different analyses. And we asked people a while back to submit some stories, and we're about to shoot some videos with some people and put up some of those stories. But the idea is to separate yourself from the traditional loan officer. So yes, if I went down to the bottom, the very example scripts, the very bottom down here, traditional loan officers tend to be commodity providers. They basically draw a line in the sand and tell you this is what you do and what you don't qualify for, end of story. But real strategic mortgage planning is all about creating opportunities, and not just opportunities for higher loan amounts or lower payments, but opportunities that people would never even think to ask about or possibly know about. For example, Gustavo and Chanel are thinking that they should possibly refinance and lower their payments a little, which is great, but here's some opportunities they didn't even know existed. And then you transition into your example, because that's it. And a bunch of these one-liners up here that I got are all around the idea of being in the opportunity business, because the truth is you don't sell loans. You intersect with the need when they arise. I want to somehow put myself in the opportunity business. My job is to create opportunities. Opportunities for lower payments and higher loan amounts and better loan programs, but all sorts of opportunities that you might not have ever thought about. Your only job in this relationship is to decide if and when one of those opportunities is exciting enough to take advantage of. And now my close can invite people to reach out and see what kind of opportunities might exist for them. This is what I love doing. My job is to create the best opportunities I can for my clients. When one looks good enough, or one looks too good to pass up, great. In the meantime, they have the peace of mind that comes from knowing all their options. Whether you're thinking about buying or refinancing or not, I would love a chance to show you what kind of unseen opportunities might exist for you. Contact me at the information below, or just click to send me a message, and you can have that peace of mind of being in the know as well. That's what I'm trying to get people to do with all these CTAs, and the idea is simple. I want an open. You got to know you're open, and we'll talk about that in a second. I want to see 1 to 3 examples in the form of a story, whether you're using clients' first names or you're using fictitious clients. I want 1 to 3 examples in a story format that people can relate to. And then want to close, which is inviting people to reach out and see what kind of opportunities might exist for them, because the stuff that I've been seeing from you guys is amazing. The opportunity to do, what do you call them, PDUs, or to take cash out, or to buy up when I was thinking I wanted to lower my payment, to shorten my term. I was thinking I could lower my payment by $100, maybe $200. I was blown away to find out that I could eliminate 5.5 years from my mortgage, save $93,000, and increase my retirement net worth by over $250,000, whatever. That's what you guys are missing out on, the hook. Sorry, I get rambling, Todd.
No, I just love it. So, a pause for 1 second, because I know before you did a class on this, and rumor has it you don't necessarily have one scheduled yet, but you're thinking about it.
Yeah, actually, I've been recording classes on a learning management system, so that even when I do them live, because what I'd like to do live with people is the support group, but I was trying to break them up into little bitty chapters that have assessments and questions, and really make the stuff stick. And I've challenged myself with trying to make this stuff simpler, because that's even though Dave came up with the idea for making Facebook simple, the truth is it's not. It's complicated. And I'm trying to give people little things they can do that are simpler. So yes, we will be announcing another live course, but I will also quickly have a recorded one so people can go back to it. I'm pretty proud of.
All right, so they'll be able to find that just by liking your Facebook page and checking back there. Is that the best way for them to stay tuned?
Sure, that's definitely works. And we'll announce it. We'll get it out there. Todd, I just like giving this stuff away, man. I
know you, and that's why I figured I might as well at least, give you a little bit of a plug here, only a quarter way through our conversation. So my favorite quote so far is you can sell more if you're not annoying. I think that's really true. And, I think we see that a lot with real estate agents who the only posts they make are come see me at my open house or just listed or just sold, not much else for content or education.
Okay. So I'm going to give you these are the holy grail nuggets of videos and what works better than anything else. Instead of always saying, come see me, call me if you need a loan, whatever. Remember, most of the time they don't. I want people to like me. Who do people like? And they like people who are successful but humble about it. They like people who have a real passion for what they do. I want somebody who's an artist at whatever it is. I like people who are authentic and genuine, not overly polished and scripted. And yet all the videos I see from, not all, but pretty much from everybody tend to be really polished and scripted, and they want to look good and professional. And that's not endearing. So try this for your opens. When I get down to these clips, quotes, and one-liners, things like, hey everybody, it's Bill Hillestad. Look, everybody who knows me knows I feel like the luckiest guy on the face of the planet because I absolutely love what I do. And it's you, all my friends and clients that trust me with your business and your referrals that make my life so incredible. And I'm constantly looking for ways that I can give back and say thank you. And one of my favorites is introducing you guys to each other. I love connecting my connections, if you will. Today, I'm here with a good friend and somebody you definitely want to add to your list of contacts, Todd Bookspan. Todd, meet my, and we call it connecting my connections. That's one, but I express gratitude. People who are grateful for their life are naturally magnetic. Anytime you can open with your gratitude, I point out that, and I'm successful clearly because I'm so grateful for my life. People want to work with somebody who's successful. I have a passion for my craft. I love what I do. I am grateful for all the referrals and the people who trust me with their business. Again, I'm conveying my success. I'm reminding people that they should be referring to me and they should be using me. And people who don't know me are going to see this and think, wow, what up? But how do you come off like that? And the more often we can express gratitude, the more time we can spend, and 80% of your content needs to give to others. I love connecting to other connections, but I can take that same kind of scripting and tie it into the mortgage stuff. Like this, let's see. Look, I know a lot of people in my industry, for a lot of people in my industry, it's just a sales job. But there's so much more to real strategic mortgage planning, whether it's helping people qualify for higher loan amounts, lower rates, better loan programs, or just remove it. And probably not the best one, but I'm trying to, how do I separate? Because remember, from Renee, everybody, every story from Donald Miller has a hero, a villain, and a guide. I've got to have the tension. So I got to separate myself from the traditional loan officer, the commodity provider. So let's see, I'm in the opportunity business. I'm so sorry. I wrote so many scripts and I did it so fast.
Suggesting, Bill, that one of these would be a good way to launch off, right? Because you said that you want to have a compelling open. Is one of these that if someone's comfortable with, that you would suggest they use for their open?
Yeah, I would. Well, these were quips, quotes, and one-liners that you can work into your open or into your script, but they give you the positioning. Because the positioning I want is, look, I feel like the luckiest guy on the face of the planet because I love what I do. I know that sounds crazy because loans are boring, right? And if you're a traditional loan officer, salesperson, whatever, maybe. But when you get into real strategic planning, real strategic mortgage planning, it's an opportunity to make a massive difference in people's lives. Differences that they never would have known of or never would have known about. Whatever. And now I'm going to try and set that separation. Say, for example, and that's the scripts that I got into down here. And you guys know that I'm a reclusive, or you do, Todd, reclusive, introverted nerd, and I have a hard time in these public human situations. But if you'll take and read through this, I think it will start to make sense for you guys. Where are we? Further down. There we go. Tying it all together. Look, I know doing mortgages can sound pretty boring, but there's so much more to real strategic mortgage planning than people realize. For example, and then segue into 1 to 3 TCA examples. And again, you can put fictitious names on it. And this is, in my mind, the perfect video. And by the way, I do have an offer. It's not from me. It's from some other mortgage coach friends that volunteered to do something really cool. But if you do this, because remember, it's an open 1 to 3 examples and a close. So if I open with something about loving, luckiest guy, whatever, I know doing mortgages sounds pretty boring, but there's so much more to real strategic mortgage planning. For example, John and Susan come in looking for wondering if they should do a refinance. And sure enough, they could lower their payments by $127. But example. You hit them with some examples. That's where we'd want to pull up the TCA, put that on screen. If you're shooting these videos yourself and you don't have any way to edit or anything, just do them on Zoom. And that's where you would share your screen and then cut back to not sharing your screen. Learn the hotkeys on Zoom so you don't have to click around with your mouse. And show the TCA examples and then go back to your close. So, 1 to 3 examples is visuals. Look, I'm in the opportunity business and it really is my passion, which is why I'm so grateful to all my friends and clients who trust me with their business, referrals. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. I wanted to invite you also to reach out and see what sort of opportunities I can create for you. Whether you're thinking about buying a home, doing some home improvement, already have a loan you feel is pretty good, I would love a chance to see what sorts of strategic opportunities I could spin up for you. Contact me at the information below or just click to shoot me a message.
So how long is this video? So you've got the intro. I can obviously read your intro. I can read the exit. How long is the video each? Specifically, what would you recommend for each one of those examples?
Okay, so when you're doing videos on Facebook, it's kind of a catch-22 in that people have tiny attention spans and they won't watch a long video. The perfect video tends to be between 1 and 3 minutes. 5 is kind of on the high side. The catch-22 is Facebook favors longer content. If you do a 3 to 5 minute video, they will show it to more people than they show your 1 minute video to. But more people will watch the 1 minute video. So my suggestion to people is shoot for that 2 to 3 minute video. If it creeps up to 5, that's fine. It'll actually get seen by more people. The people that are just kind of interested will come in and watch a few seconds of it and move on. But you've remembered, everybody who watches any portion of it, you've captured them into your audience. Now they'll continue to see your content. I literally have people that in the last 2 months have added between 50 and 100,000 people to their video viewer audiences. And Todd, I know I've said this before, but people who watch one of your videos, even just a few seconds of one of your videos, are 3 to 4 times more likely to consume your future content and reach out to you as your own followers on Facebook. People who like you, people who watch your video like you and will continue to like you. So even if they don't watch the whole 5 minute video, you're still capturing them. I just did a reverse mortgage video with somebody. It was 30 minutes. We broke it into a 12 and a 20. We put a few $100 behind them and we got 20,000+ views on each of those. But the kicker wasn't just those. It was that now we have 18,000 people that have watched a through play of one of those videos that care about reverse mortgages, that are over 62, that are serious, who see Carl's content every single week. And now it's the content that makes people like it. So, yep, 2-3 minutes, 5 on the high side. Take my verbiage here and condense it, but you gotta open with the hook. You gotta have a headline, something to, did they really save this much money? They thought lowering their payment by $129 was a good deal, but it didn't compare to the $63,000 they saved, or, and I know that some of the headlines might sound cheesy to some people, but guys,
it works.
Yeah, you've got to stop the scroll. And this is screening content. We've put up content about closing costs and gotten 100,000 views on it. I put up content about building your credit score and have 1.7 million views on it. It's not that the content is that spectacular. It's that when somebody watches that video, you've captured somebody with a sincere interest. If I'm watching a video about down payment assistance programs, qualifying, staging a home, whatever, that's powerful content. That's somebody who's got an interest in what I do and likes me. And now they're going to see me as consistently as they see their best friends, because you've captured them and you can keep staying in front of them.
All right. So let me ask a clarifying question then. For them, are you posting this then to your business page, to your personal page, posting it on one and sharing it to the other? What does that look like?
Okay. That's a great question. I have a document on how, because the answer is always both. You must use personal, you must use business. When you're on your Facebook page and you put up a post and everything starts on your page, then you go in and put some money behind it. And by the way, if anybody,
business page, right?
Your business page, everything starts on your business page, because you can't do any of this stuff from a personal profile, but profiles are where all the interaction happens. And people don't understand that the answer is both. You can do both. So if I'm on my page and I put up a post there, great. Here's a post that I put up on my page. And then I can go in and I can boost it. And look, if you go through one of the classes and you learn how to use Ad Manager, great. But for now, go ahead and just hit the boost button, put 10 bucks on it, 20 bucks on it, whatever. Once you boost it, and Facebook now has money, and they have to spend your money getting views. And we tend to average about a penny a view. Sometimes you'll be 2 cents a view. Well, Facebook doesn't want to show it to the wrong people. They don't want to show it to people who don't want to see it. So whenever people engage with this content, it's going to tell Facebook this is a path they should follow. So as soon as you boost this, you want to share it. But when you click this share button, you notice there's only share in a group, share to a page. Completely useless to share to a page. Pages get no engagement. They get no traffic. You might as well not even have a business page if you aren't going to play the paid game. So you don't want to do this, because I'm acting as Bill the page. People don't understand you have attribution. And even though I'm on my page, I can change to Bill Hillestad, the guy, not Bill Hillestad, the business. And I use a black and white picture, so I never have any doubt. Is that my personal? Is that my, and that's all I did. Black and white color. Black and white is personal. Black color for me is business. But now look what happens. When I click share, I can share this, which I want to do, straight to my page or my profile. So I'll put it on my profile and I might add another little comment to it. Hey, just put up a new thing, whatever. Facebook will show it on average to 16% of my friends. My friends will give it likes because my closest friends, whatever, you know, your mom, sister, wife is going to say something nice about you. Facebook's going to go, oh, look, engagement. And they're going to follow it with the money. Pretty soon, everybody. Because when you're doing Facebook and you're trying to be an organic Facebook person, 16%. That's what you're going to reach on average. The rest of them never see your stuff unless Facebook's getting their money. So that's one. Next, I can, look at this. I can share on a friend's timeline. So if I've got somebody else in a video, I can share this straight onto their timeline, a la, here, I'll scroll up and show you, look at this. Jim Bakhtiar, just stuff this onto my timeline. If I like it, comment, whatever, now Facebook's gonna go, oh, engagement, and make sure everybody that I know sees this. So if I do a video with or about somebody else, I can put it on my page, put it on my profile, and then put it on their profile. So to tie all this together, Dave was talking about doing Facebook Lives with realtors and talking about the opportunities to buy up or to do a rate buy down or to, And that's, again, your job is to create opportunities. If you're with a realtor and you can choreograph this where they ask you questions about, look, I always have buyers that want to buy this. And now you can talk about, oh, well, you could do a PDU loan and you could buy the house and you could put something in the back and then you could turn it into a rental place and it'll increase the value. Or you could do a buy up and but it's not going to cost you more money because, and you go through a TCA example. And, or the realtor could ask you about, yeah, I've got a bunch of equity and I'm great. You could purchase with the reverse mortgage and actually use it to and have no payment or get twice as much. And you're going to do this with the realtor. But when you do this, you're going to do it as a live. So here's your tips. Go in, if you're going to do a live, go into Facebook events on your page. Create an event for your live. And all you're going to do is you're going to upload a little photo. Maybe it's you and the realtor. Maybe it's a stock photo, whatever. It's going to be free. You can come down here and you can, and you know, is this going to be once? Is it going to recur? And it's just common sense. You fill it out, co-host, list the realtor, and then you can make people confirm. So essentially, do they have to give you their name and email and whatever to come to your live, or can they just say interested? And now you've got an event, and most people have put an event on their Facebook. Once you do that, you're going to go into Ad Manager. Just go into it, click the caret in the top right on Facebook. You'll find your Ad Manager. Say create. When you say create and wait patiently for it to load, you're creating a new ad or a new post on Facebook. Well, you want to put up a post about your live that's coming up. So first rule is you always start with, what's my objective? My objective is engagement. Facebook just added this a few weeks back, maybe a month ago. I want to do an engagement ad. Okay, what kind of engagement? I want event responses, and I can choose that as an objective for an ad, and Facebook delivers whatever you tell them you want: lead gen, video views, engagement. So now I say continue, and now I'm going to put up my little post that says blah, 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 blah. And again, use your headline, use your whatever, but people are going to be registering for, they're going to be getting reminders about your upcoming Facebook Live with your realtor. Do this, put $100 on it. You'll own that realtor for life. Every other realtor you ever talk to will beg to do Facebook Lives with you, because with the $100, you're going to get 10,000 views. It's on average. I'm not saying I can't guarantee what, but I average better than a view per penny. You should too. But now your live is going to have a lot of mojo. Your next tip is Facebook judges the first couple minutes of a live. You need to have 6 or 12 people that you know that agree to come in and share and comment. I need a comment and a share. Likes aren't that valuable. I want a comment and a share in the first couple minutes of your live. I can tell you that we had one group of 80 people that supported each other. 80 people was about 1 million views.
Over what time
Facebook
frame, Bill? So you're saying, because people are thinking I'm going to have 1 million people watching me. You're saying you're going to have a handful of people on when you do it live, and then as long as you get this engagement, it's going to crank it up over time.
Facebook's going to think it's good content, and they're going to go, oh, look, the people like this. Let's show it to more. Meanwhile, you've promoted it, so you're going to have a bunch of people show up for it. If you're going to do these lives, you might as well make them count. Now, as soon as it's saved and you can continue to use it, yes, absolutely. Continue to promote it. Make sure that you put it on your page and run with it. But if you try to incorporate some of these little content tricks along with how you boost it, trust me, it will work. And now to my point that I said earlier, I kind of had an offer. Dave introduced me to some really brilliant young kids. I don't know if you know Josh McQuaig and Michael Rivero at Top Shot Pro, but they got a video marketing company back on the East Coast, and they work with realtors mostly. And he's like, I don't know, you guys are both smart. You should play around together. And we've been playing around with some really cool technology and experimenting with something that lets me take control of your iPhone or iPad and shoot professional quality video. This has never existed before. I have to put a video crew, they have to put a video crew out, and it costs them $400 or $500 an hour to do that. And so now I can take your iPhone and your wife's iPhone, set them up, do a 2-camera shoot, So we've been playing around with that and wanted to do some experimentation. I wanted to see how they did in a real situation. And so if anybody would like to have a professional video produced, because they'll shoot the video, they'll edit the video, they'll post the video, they'll do all the boosting and the stuff that I'm talking about here. And they'll do it at essentially their cost. So I came up with the price for them, and look, not making money, trust me, they're not. $500. They'll spend at least 250 of it on the traffic, and then the rest on the video editors and whatnot to get them edited and posted. But if somebody wants to do one professional video to see what happens when you get 20, 30,000 views, they will work with you and coach you through it. And the whole idea, again, is you're going to give a couple TCA type of examples, a couple stories, and a close. And I've been struggling with this, Todd, because I keep doing these videos for you guys, and people just aren't, they're not all the way getting it. I see great videos, but they almost always, huh?
Are you calling us slow?
No, you just missed the hard parts. I'm giving you a recipe with 37 ingredients, but if you skip one, it tastes like garbage. You do spectacular videos. We still you need to have Adam keep reaching out to me to get your viewership up and the rest of the tagging stuff down. You need all those little pieces in place so that the right people are seeing it. But I wanted to try and get some really killer, because I think Mortgage Coach is the greatest lead gen opportunity on the planet for loan officers. When I look at that example that Dave did, blown away. I would have over 1 million views on one of those videos. I guarantee it. And I would keep, because you can keep running it over and over and over, and it'll just keep bringing in leads. That will blow people away. But if you open with, hey, it's Todd Bookspan, we're here with another blah, 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 blah. Sorry, you lost them. You got to have the right open. You got to hook them. You got to capture the audience, because people need to see you 18 to 20 times before they would ever reach out to you. If you're not familiar, people don't like strangers. So I gotta grab them and then have them see me over and over. Yes, you'll get leads right up front, but I'm just convinced that if they put a good story behind a TCA or a rent versus buy or whatever, and they start putting one of those up a couple times a month. In between, I'd like to see connecting my connections. I'd like to see, charity, supporting a small business, that kind of stuff. But if a couple times a month, you just took a mortgage story with the theme, the recurring theme that old-fashioned loan officers tend to be commodity providers, salespeople, whatever. They just say yes, no, or this is what you qualify for, draw a line in the sand for you. There's so much more to this industry, and it can make such a big difference. Let me give you another example. And then you go into, and your theme is you're going to keep telling stories of people who didn't think they could qualify, but they did. And you can make them up as fictitious. For example, and it's going to be a lot easier to get by compliance when it's a fictitious example. And you just keep telling those stories and using the TCA as examples. So you do your open, you cut to the TCA like Dave did in the video, go watch his video. If he had the hook, if he opened with the lead, it'd be the perfect video. And then show the example and explain it, and then invite people to get their own opportunity. Look, my job's creating opportunities. Doesn't matter which one of these opportunities somebody wants to take advantage of, whether it's none or any of them. And trust me, there's a lot more. And turn yourself into the opportunity gal, the opportunity guy, whatever.
But if people need to see you 12 to 18 times, you got to record this great video you're talking about, and then you've got to consistently be posting more videos, and then you've got to be remarketing those back towards the people who watched the original video to remind them who you are until they decide to ping you via messenger or on the phone.
It's a timing game. It's what's that 0 moment of truth when I'm finally ready to pick up the phone and call. You can't put something out. What are the odds you're going to hit me at that one perfect time? When today's the day, damn it, my wife's been on me. I got to call and see about doing a refi. And how, well, the only way to be there at the right time is to be there all the time. Marketing only works if it has reach, frequency, and impact. You got to reach a lot of people. When you put up stuff organically, you're not. You might think you are, but you're not. You have to put money behind it. Why bother creating a piece of content and not put $10 on it? Because after a while, like the people we did in the boot camp, I mean, I got a lot of folks that are getting 50, 75, 100,000 views on a video. And they're still only spending the same $100 a video that they started off with, getting 10,000 views. It builds the momentum. So you got to have reach. You got to have frequency. If you're not there all the time, you're a waste. We like people who are familiar to us. Todd, if I see you every single week, you're like the Dave Ramsey of the mortgage industry, or Susie Orm, or, you know, Robert Kiyosaki, whoever. You're famous to me. I think you're a big deal because I see you everywhere. It's my most common testimonial. Happens with every client. Eventually, somebody just came up to me in the grocery store. Somebody just said, oh my God, I see you everywhere. They think you're larger than life. You must have frequency. And then impact. Impact is not just being boring mortgage, boring mortgage, boring mortgage. Stories. Tell a story about somebody who didn't think they could qualify. And they did this, and then they got told no by, but then we did this, and da-da-da. Or somebody who came in and they wanted to save $172. And $172 is real money. And you know what? It's worth it to do the refi. But they had more opportunities than that. Let me show you a few more. Storyfy your TCA, because that's what you do. You create opportunity. Matter of fact, man, I might be reaching out to you soon. I just sold one in Arizona, and we want to buy another one before the end of the year, maybe early next year. I want to know what kind of weird opportunities I have. Where I am in California, every property has a PDU, the whatever. Is that what it is? PDU, the extra dwelling unit to rent out?
Yeah, I was like, I had no idea what you were talking about, but I think maybe someone will put in the comments what a PDU is.
Oh, it's a it's a dwelling, a detached dwelling unit, something like that. Whatever it is, it's the loans and the law that came along that let you put an extra dwelling unit on your property.
That's a California thing. So one of you California people put it below, so the rest of us talking about.
It's a big.
An accessory dwelling unit. Thank you.
Yeah, see, smart people. Good thing you got smart people on here.
I just hope I always know there's somebody good in this group that'll bail me out of my ignorance.
But so my call to action on all this is, if there's a few people, and I don't want a lot of people, but I want to do some examples. I want you to have some examples of what kind of stuff really works. So Josh and Michael are willing to do the video and the video editing and the posting and the audience development and all that stuff. Because you know me, I'm old and lazy and don't like to work much, so I charge a lot. I'm not going to charge anything. I want to help a couple people put together a video using real, video production, and then promote it the right way. Because I'd like to get a half a dozen people out there so that other people can just copy it and see what works and see how many leads you can get. Because that video that Dave put up, that's a lead gen machine. I can't even begin. And by the way, once you get one that works, oh yeah, look, I'm getting good leads for $18. It's just a knob. You can turn it up. It's great. I'm put in 180. I'm going to get 10 leads. Put in 360. I'll get 20 leads. Hey, next week things are kind of slow. Turn it off. Turn it back on the next week and go, man, I want to buy a new boat. Give me 50 leads, $900. And it really is that simple. When you get stuff that works, you can keep running with it. So my hope was to get some stuff that'll work. If anybody wants to, and I promise to put this in chat, I'll put my document up there in chat now.
Yeah, someone's asking where you're going to put your document. So we'll make sure we get it posted in the Facebook group. Okay. And then someone's also asking, is there a certain dollar amount that is particularly successful when boosting?
Look, I won't do anything less than $25 because my time is worth too much. And I see that. I just had this conversation with somebody who has a 6,000 person following, and he's like, I'm getting 200 or 300 views. And it's like, how much time do you really put into a post? And at the end of the day, the video, the thought, the whatever, it's an hour. So getting 200 or 300 views, your time's worth whatever per hour. It takes an hour. And yet, and let's say your time's worth $200 an hour. So it's $200 to get your first 200 views. But for an extra 25, you can get another 2,500 views. 200 views for $200. $20 for 2,000 views. This is a no-brainer. Personally, I think everybody should put $100 behind everything. You cannot go wrong. You can't. If you, Todd Bookspan, put $100 on every video, because man, you make good content. If you did that, even if you were spending $1,000 a month, that would be 100,000 views a month. In the beginning, it might be hitting strangers, but pretty soon it's the same people seeing it over and over. And you don't have to worry about your targeting, because your targeting works itself out in that people who watch it will see it over and over. People who never watch it won't see it. Every realtor in town would be seeing you. It's just the best money you can spend. I spend about $1,000 a month on my own weird experiments and tests, and I don't want responses. And I get several 100,000 views a month. And like I said,
I just love that. It makes me laugh so much that you spend $1,000 a month and you don't want any responses.
No, like I said, I don't want to work that hard. That's why I like finding smarter, younger, faster kids, like the guys at Top Shot, because they're hard workers. They're smart. They're fast. They do all kinds of stuff that I don't. I just want to guide the direction. And I like doing the testing, the experimentation. I love tests. Doing a lot of weird tests on LinkedIn these days. LinkedIn's never really been worth it, but it's starting to have some value that is worth experimenting. So I like the experiment, and I'm getting more out of Instagram than I ever have. It still is about 3% of maybe 4 or 5 of Facebook, but Facebook is just, it's so, if you got 100,000 views a month and your content was decent, if you kept giving opportunities, let me show you something else people didn't know you could do. Because man, when Scott Nichols and Madsen and whatnot were doing the seller buy down stuff with you, oh my gosh, that's wow factor stuff. Put it together, and even if your video sucks, you can still force it in front of enough people that sooner or later people are going to go, oh, wow. And when you see somebody watch that video, really watch, oh my gosh, now you stay in front of them. They dig you, they dig the concept. Those are the best leads you will ever see. And don't be afraid of cheap ones. I've got a realtor in Texas that doesn't like leads. I don't like leads either. She likes warm, easy deals. I don't want to. So she puts up if you're thinking about selling your home, I'm so confident that I can sell it cheaper, faster, whatever, that I will guarantee you 25,000 views on your listing video. If you take a look around, you'll see that that's 1,000 times more than the typical listing gets. I'd love a chance to show you my marketing plan. So her video only says, reach out to me if you want to do a listing appointment. And she started at about $130 a lead, and she's down to about $60 a lead. But you got to realize every one of those is a listing appointment. When I put up one in mortgage and say, look, if you're doing a loan, I'm so confident that I can create a better opportunity for you, that I'll give you this American Express Travel Rewards gift card for $500 just for letting me show you what kind of opportunities I can create. Whether you do the loan with me or somebody else, it has nothing to do with doing the loan. Freaks out some compliance people, but anybody that's smart will realize that it's completely ethical, legal, not a problem. It gives the CFPB what they want, more competition, because I give you the gift. And I've got people that give away cruises, cost them $150. The $500 travel reward gift cards from American Express, $50. But you put that out and yeah, you might spend $25, but every lead isn't a lead. It's somebody who's doing a loan with somebody else. I'm so confident I can beat any deal out there. If you'll give me a shot, I've got Starbucks $100 gift certificate, $50 gift certificate, whatever. Those things convert. You can do that. But I'm telling you, if you just take Dave's video, use the same TCA and make it fictitious, but start coming up with stories. That's what you guys should be doing as a community. That's what I told Dave. A story, collect them somewhere in the community, and then I can just borrow the stories. And I post 1, 2, 3 stories, opportunities a month. And I push them out there to 10,000 or more people. In between, I invite people to support charities, support local businesses, connecting my connections. I got to tell you, there's still nothing better than connecting your connections, introducing people to others. By the way, interviewing clients, that's the one. When you can do a video with a client, I won't go into it now because I know we're out of time, but like in the financial planning world, I've got financial planners that literally say, I'm here with Dr. So-and-so Motz, who has a really unique investment strategy. Blah, 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 blah. So, and they interview the client about their strategy. Well, the same thing works in the mortgage world. And I've got a couple of people that are just playing with this, and I'm really, really excited to see what they do with it. But if I send an email to somebody, they were a first-time buyer, and I say, you just did something that 63 million Americans are afraid to even attempt. I saw a stat that said 63 million people who could qualify, a HUD stat, who could qualify for a home are afraid to even attempt the process. So if I say, you just did something that, would you be willing to do a quick Zoom interview with me and maybe talk about the process and how hard it was and offer some encouragement to other people to follow in your footsteps? I get a spectacular response to that kind of request. And maybe they did something else, like the strategy that just happened with the TCA. But instead of just putting up the TCA video that like the one Dave has saying, look what they did. They got a bigger house, more cash, and $500,000 in extra net worth. What if you said, this was a really creative strategy, but give the client the credit. They're the hero, you're the guide. Say, would you mind talking about the strategy behind this and what your thought processes were, and give some, because everybody thinks refi is about lower payments. Everybody think that's the only thing they think about. You either buy or you lower your payment. There's so much more. And this is such a creative example. Would you be willing to offer some encouragement to others? And look, some clients will, some won't. You know which ones to ask. But when they do, and you can sit back and just ask questions, don't talk any more than you have to. Ask them about their strategy, their whatever, how they felt about. And Todd, you'll be blown away, because now you're going to share it straight onto their timeline. And this is what's killing it for the financial planners, in that, yeah, this is one of my clients. I don't even say they're a client. Everybody just assumes they're a client. I'm not saying I did anything for them. We're talking about their strategy, what they did, what it's all about them and making them look good and them be the hero and them be smart. But everybody naturally assumes that I'm their partner in this whole endeavor. Well, when I share it to their timeline, people are going to be like, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. Great idea. Blah, blah, blah. They're going to engage. Facebook's going to follow that. Everybody they know is now going to see it. Anytime you can do a video with a client, like a closing video or an interview, or can you please offer some encouragement to some people to do what you just did? Every time you shoot one of those videos, you are effectively getting referred to every person they know or have ever known. It's what I want from my clients more than anything, is a referral, but it's hard to get people to refer people to me. They don't know how to refer. Heck, I only saw probably 10 of my friends in the last month, but I know hundreds and hundreds of people. This is how I refer you to everybody. By the way, that same thing with connecting my connections. We're going to turn that into a company one of these days and just do that, because when I say blah, 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 I want everybody to meet Todd Bookspan. He's a good friend and somebody you need to count as a friend yourself. Sooner or later, you're going to need what? And you just got introduced to everybody I know, plus a few thousand extras. That's how else could you get referred? Forget networking, BNI, LaTip, whatever. This is getting referred to everybody I know. That's the kind of stuff people need to be doing, and taking this TCA, turning it into a story, putting it out there. If you can do it with a client and you can share it to their, would you mind if I share your story? I'll anonymize it, whatever. But if you can share it to their timeline and let their friend, and you talk about how brilliant they are and how creative, and most people wouldn't think this way. I just kills me that people don't. By the way, if anybody, Bill at Bill Hillestad, or bill.hillestad@gmail, or find me on Facebook, reach out to me if you would like me to connect you with the guys at Top Shot. And like I said, I'll coach you on the content or help with that. But if you want to go out, get one little publicity hit, I'm really curious to see how this virtual video production stuff works. Can we come up with a way to make this cheap and do it for people? And I think these kids might be able to do that. So I'm curious, but
I'm of course speechless as always, Bill. Like, I just love letting you talk. And I feel like when I let you roll and I don't interrupt you, that's when the brilliance comes out. And so I'd love to make this actionable for the group. So you said you would share that sheet. You want to email me that, or you just want to share it in the Mortgage Coach group when we're done yourself? What would be the easiest?
I'm doing it right as we speak.
Okay, so Bill's going to share that in the group. And I started off saying that Dave's video was brilliant. Dave gave you the roadmap, and then we got Bill on who said, here's how to make it better, right? Don't bury the lead like Dave did. And you now have the ability to take action, right? He said the easy way to do it is to record it on Zoom, right? You guys can get a free Zoom account. Most of you probably have a paid account where you can do just what we're doing. You just record yourself and then hit the share button. Bill said to learn the shortcut keys, which I made a note for myself to learn, to be able to move faster between them. And then it doesn't need to be a great video, right? My coach, when I started doing 2 Minutes with Todd years ago, said people actually like it because you're not very good. And what he meant by that was the fact that it wasn't polished. I didn't have a fancy intro, and I know there's no, words typed up. People just liked it. And I feel like the fact is that you're not taking action because you feel like this is overwhelming, and it's not. If you just break it down and do the one video that Bill is talking about, that's my encouragement. My encouragement would be get done here today and commit that by Monday, you'll record this video. Find your couple of examples. Bill already said it, copy over Amber's example and make it your own, right? You can just create it and make it Dave Savage, the Savage family. We can all help the Savage family out. And I really believe that if you all commit to doing this, I think that you will absolutely, absolutely 100% have the results that Bill's talking about. And remember though, if you do your first video and you boost it, that you don't get the results you want, make sure that you're consistent with it. Bill's giving you other ideas of how to do it. And I really think that that's what's holding people back. Hey, how do I get the right lighting? Hey, how do I get the right editing? How do I get those words on the screen? How do I get some up front? Skip all that for now, right? For now, just create the video and put it out there, run it and see what the results are. And you're gonna have to watch the video over again because I made notes, but I was trying to actually pay attention to Bill and take notes. And I feel like that is really the key. The key is it's not as complicated. We started off with Facebook marketing made simple. And I actually think it's simple if you focus on that one video and then boost it and nothing else. What would you add to that, Bill?
Then I want to do trainings with you, because I swear you took all of my crazy mad scientist ramblings, as you referenced, and actually made them sound really succinct and actionable. And I was impressed, man.
All right, well, we'll make that happen. I'll take you up on that, and I will record a video, and I'll be one of your guinea pigs too. I would love that. So I'm just super grateful that all of you joined us on a Friday. I'm grateful that Bill carved time out of his busy schedule to be here. And just know that you learned something today. And really what matters is am I actually going to do something with it? So I would encourage you to schedule some time between today and Monday to make the video. Doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need 75 takes, maybe a 1 or 2 or 10 takes, whatever it takes, get it done. And then share with the community, right? Share your scenarios. Like Bill said, I am just super grateful for you guys, Bill, Dave, Robert in the background here. Thanks for being here. Number 199 Mastermind session is a wrap, guys. On behalf of Mortgage Coach Win by Noon and Bill Hillestad, we'll see y'all soon.
We'll see you. Thanks.
Hey, my pleasure.